Hello and welcome to Freelancer. I was sorry to say welcome back to Freelancer because I've been playing this game a lot. If everything worked out really well, you also saw the additional startup movies that I couldn't really record here, but I think I can just add them nonetheless. So, well, this is Freelancer. Freelancer is sort of the last attempt of Chris Roberts to bring space simulations back to the mainstream before he burned out and stopped working in the video game industry for over 10 hours before returning then later with Star Citizen, which supposedly is everything that Freelancer tried to be but wasn't ready to be yet. Nonetheless, I mean, Freelancer has faults, as we'll see, but I think it's still a great game. It's one of the last good space simulations. It's a little sad to say that, but I think it's one of the last great space simulations, so I'm going to be playing that here. The menu right now looks a little bit weird because I've made a lot of adjustments in order to have that work on high resolution and stuff, but everything in the game should work out correctly. It's just right now that everything looks a little bit weird. Anyway. Something I'm also gonna say is I'm also playing with a mod, so if you try to play the game yourself, then things are a little different. But I'll be talking more about that once we're actually in the game. So since we just had a long cutscene, let's have some more cutscenes, right?
Roger that. All systems show green. SA-14, you're cleared for departure.
Acknowledge, Freeport 7. We'll see you in about 2 weeks.
SA-14, we're picking up unknown contacts on long-range sensors. We're dispatching a fighter wing to escort you out of the system. Godspeed.
Navy Command, this is Freeport 7. We're picking up some strange readings on the long-range sensors.
Unknown ships have breached the defense perimeter. Man off station!
I'm sorry to interrupt here, but something seems to be off because there's no music in the background. Let me... Oh. my bad. My bad. Let's continue.
President Jacoby has asked the LSF to investigate the sudden destruction of Freeport 7. No word yet on whether it was accidental or a deliberate attack. The first handful of survivors arrived on Manhattan this morning.
We're here for medical. Is there anyone seriously injured?
One. Inside. Make sure he lives. He owes me some credits.
Your concern is touching. We'll do everything we can. It may take a while.
Officially, the Liberty Security Force maintains there is no proof Freeport 7's destruction was deliberate, but sources inside the LSF say they suspect the dangerous criminal organization, the Order. We will keep you up to date as the story develops.
Alright, in case you're wondering, the blonde guy that we just saw in the cutscene walking around and being a little bit annoyed of what's going on, that's actually us, which is Edison Trent, as we'll soon find out. He was on the station that was attacked and destroyed at the very beginning, and he also had a deal going that sort of didn't work out. there's actually a deeper background story that the game doesn't really tell you, which you can read up here in the in your sort of diary. So I'm not gonna read all of this stuff. Let me just, if you want to read that, if you want to read this and this and that. The basic gist of it is that he had that he wants to be a freelancer, which is someone who's working for pay and basically willing to do almost anything within moral reason, of course. And he was going out to the little bit more dangerous border worlds and tried to get a big deal, and he apparently got a deal transporting something for someone. But that deal sort of went south because when the station was destroyed that we saw at the very beginning, Freeport 7, actually the entire cargo that he was supposed to be trafficking was destroyed as well. So he's a little bit pissed right now. So I think when you're a little bit pissed, then it's understandable to go to the bar, right? Just drink your worries away, maybe find sort of different deal, so let's actually go to the bar.
A Sidewinder Fang.
All we have is Liberty Ale, friend.
Fine.
Her name's Junko Zane. She's a tough one.
Oh, why's that?
She's LSF. All business. If it's a job you're wanting, that is. On the other hand, if you're looking for something more...
Well, the only thing I'm looking for right now is this drink.
I know you.
No, I don't think so.
The news. I saw your face on the news. You're one of the Freeport 7 survivors, aren't you?
Yeah.
I heard it was pretty bad out there. You know, you're lucky to be alive.
Huh.
This one's on me, friend. It's the good stuff.
Why?
Because it's not every day a man has the chance to start again, huh? To your good fortune and liberty, sir.
Well, it can't get any worse. Thanks.
So right now we're in the bar and we can actually talk to people. There's actually a lot of information that I probably won't showcase everything about it, so let's actually just talk to everybody here, but in the future I'll probably not do that.
Hello, what you need?
Any action going on?
New here, stranger?
Yep.
Well, it's possible I have what you're looking for. Your name?
Call me Trent.
Ah, well, I work for the Liberty Navy. We may not own this place, but we have a sizable stake in its operation. Well, if you must know, I have heard a rumor.
All right, go on.
Okay, here's what's going on.
What has it that you were on Freeport 7? I talked to a Samura transport pilot the other day and he told me that his convoy left the station only minutes before it was attacked. He said that there were reports of unknown ships in the area. That's why Freeport 7 was unprotected when the attack occurred. They had sent most of their fire protection away. I bet those ships attacked the station. Those Samura guys were lucky to get out alive. Yeah.
Good to know. Thanks.
Excellent. Good luck.
Actually, we don't have a ship right now because we got here via this transport ship as one of the survivors, so if they had a job, then we'd probably not be able to do anything, but let's talk to the other guy too.
What's up? Can I help you with something?
What's going on?
I don't know you. First time here?
Check.
Oh, well, I work for the Liberty Navy. We don't really run this place, but we have an understanding with the people who do. Let's have a look at your card. Okay, you check out. Well, just between us, I have heard a rumor.
All right, let's talk.
Okay, here's what's going on.
Liberty Police Incorporated, or LPI, doesn't have the will or the guts it would take to eradicate criminal activity here in New York. It's the Navy that patrols the trade lanes across the southern edge of New York. The police won't even go south of Detroit. Let's face it, if the crime ended, so would LPI, and they don't want that to happen.
Good to know. Thanks.
Wonderful. You won't regret it.
Interesting. So now let's actually talk to the lovely lady in the corner here.
I understand what you're saying, but I don't have nearly enough people.
Junie, the environment has changed. Well, with groups like the Order taking more and more liberties, indeed now threatening our profits, some in the government feel that we need to increase our patrols in these areas.
You, Junko Zane?
Yes?
I believe you have business to discuss.
Wait!
I will leave this matter in your capable hands.
Sorry. The bartender said you work for the Liberty Security Force.
And who do you work for, Mr.
Trent. I work for myself.
What kind of ship do you have?
I lost mine. On Freeport 7.
I see. Are you staying in Liberty long?
I've got a friend who was injured in the attack. He's in medical. I'll be staying at least until he's released.
Well, as it happens, I could use a good freelancer, Mr. Trent. I'll be in the equipment room later. You can meet me there. Oh, and if we are gonna work together, call me Junie.
The friend that Trent was talking about is actually the person that we had this sort of deal with before Freeport 7 was destroyed. So Trent is basically waiting for him to wake up and maybe get at least some money out of it. That would be nice, right? In the bar you can also check the news feed, so let's actually do that.
All the news that's fit for you. This is the Colony News Service.
Arrival of Freeport 7 survivors. Just moments ago, the survivors of Freeport 7 disaster arrived here in Manhattan. After 2 days of intense travel, several of the survivors required immediate medical attention. Requests by the LSF to conduct interviews concerning the attack have been declined by the medical commissioner. Meanwhile, the official death toll has risen to 2,600, making it the most devastating disaster in recent history. There's actually a lot of fluff or world-building information that you can see on these news boards. So let's actually just check out a few of them so we get some manner of background information. Reinhard Admiral in Manhattan. Reinhard Admiral Otto Schultzky arrives in Manhattan today to meet with President Jacoby. Though they plan to discuss a new trade proposal, the president says that a heightened cooperative security measure will be on their agenda as well in the light of the recent Freeport 7 tragedy. The Admiral's flagship, the RNC Donau, will arrive in Manhattan today under heavy guard. Okay. Jacoby hopeful about meeting. The president was candid today when asked about her upcoming meeting with Admiral Schultzky. She said that despite recently strained diplomatic ties, it's a positive gesture from Chancellor Niemann. Jacoby and Schultzky have met on several occasions before this formal diplomatic appointment, and she has previously described him as a man of reason, committed to peace. Freeport 7 public reaction. Citizens everywhere are still in shock at the news of Freeport 7's destruction. The station, operated by the Zono, served as a neutral trading facility for all walks of life from around the galaxy. In the face of the catastrophic loss of life and the growing consensus that it was most likely a deliberate attack, people are struggling to grasp the motive behind the senseless act of violence. Alright. Military to investigate Freeport 7. Government sources say that because of the Order's potential involvement, President Jacoby has put the investigation of Freeport 7 into the hands of a special unit within the Liberty military. This corps of investigators will be charged with securing the wreckage, gathering evidence, and coordinating with forensic teams in the solemn task of recovering and identifying human remains. Alright. Actually, I don't think I'm reading the rest of them, but there's actually a lot of fluff. Not saying that negatively, I really like it because you can sort of get a sense for the feel of the world. Something I should also talk about is that there are actually 5 factions. If you watch the introduction movie, then basically in this universe, everybody left Earth after a devastating war that took place in the sort of spiritual predecessor to this game, Starlancer, and they formed basically 5 factions. The 4 major ones are Liberty, which is sort of the future version of the United States. Britonia, the future version of Britain, who are suited here in the southwest. Let's call it southwest. It's not really southwest because these directions don't make sense in space, but let's say the lower left corner of the map here. In the upper corner of the map we have Kusari, which is sort of future Japan. Britonia was future Britain, I'm not sure if I said that. and Rhineland, which is future Germany. There's also a fifth player who are not here on this map, which are future Hispanics, also called Hispania. They don't form one faction, they're actually separated into two factions who also fight against each other, but it'll be a long while before we see any of those, so yeah. Right now we don't have that much information about where everything is, but this map sort of will slowly become more detailed over time when we visited places and found a way around. So now, after all this additional ado, let's go to the equipment room and talk to Junie. Hopefully she has a ship for us.
Hello?
I'm pleased to see you. Are you ready to work for the LSF, Mr. Trent?
It's just Trent. And yeah, I'm here to see what you have to offer.
Well, I found this ship for you. It's very basic, and you won't have jump access yet, but it should be good enough for now. This assignment will be easy. All you have to do is babysit a convoy of food and medical supplies. You'll be hooking up with the escort CO King. I'll tell him to expect you. That is, of course, if you're interested.
Objective: escort a convoy of food and medical supplies from Fort Bush to the mining colony on planet Pittsburgh. The mission's commanding officer, Michael King, is waiting to rendezvous in space near the Manhattan docking ring. Difficulty: LSF Intel has classified this mission as low risk. Pirate attacks are considered possible. Rewards 2,000 credits and a ship, so let's actually take this.
Sounds good. I'm in.
Good, better get going. I'll have your ship moved immediately. All you'll have to do is go to the landing pad and launch. King will be waiting for you near the docking ring in space, okay? I'll see you when you get back.
Thanks.
Alright, more information about stuff that I'm not gonna go into, or that I'll explain as I go. There's actually different things that we can visit. There's sort of a commodity trader on every station where we can buy and sell commodities. The interesting thing is that depending on where we buy and sell what, the prices are actually different. So it's not really driven by supply and demand, but it sort of tries to say, for instance, here this is a very rich world and they're into all sort of dangerous things like drugs and illegal artifacts and all those sort of things. And so you can actually sell them here really well, though some of them are technically not legal to own, but you can sell them here nonetheless. It's also we also were at the equipment dealer. If we had more money than we have right now, we could actually go there and buy and sell weapons to outfit our ship with, and we can also buy and sell ships at some places. The ship dealer is only really available at some places. Let me just check my equipment right now. Alright. We don't really have much to go right now. We have 3 weapons, hooray. And a basic ship with shields. Basically the Starflyer is what we have right now. Manufactured in the Heartland of Liberty, the 750 is the most economical ship of its class. With ample cargo space and improved handling over previous models, the ship distinguishes itself as the veritable workhorse for the working man. Alright, talking about work, Junie told us to go into space, meet up with King and escort this supply convoy, which we're going to be doing in the next episode, which will come right a few minutes after the original air of this, because I haven't shown gameplay yet, but I still want to stop this episode right here. So in the next episode we're gonna see how the gameplay actually looks like, and I'm gonna be talking a little bit more about the mod that I'm using and stuff. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.